What if Thanksgiving was celebrated in space? Imagine it's Thanksgiving, but instead of gathering around a warm table on Earth, you're floating 400 kilometers above the planet inside the International Space Station. The question is, what would Thanksgiving look like in space? The holiday has always been about family, food, and gratitude. But in space, each of these traditions would face new challenges. Celebrating Thanksgiving would be unlike anything we know on Earth. Let's start with the food. Thanksgiving feast on Earth is full of roasted turkey, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, and cranberry sauce. But in space, none of these could be cooked in the traditional way. That's because the International Space Station doesn't have ovens or stoves. Instead, astronauts rely on freeze-dried and vacuum-sealed food packets. A turkey dinner would arrive in the form of a pouch of reheated meat. Mashed potatoes? They would start as a powder that needs rehydration with warm water. Pumpkin pie would probably come as a compressed bar. Cranberry sauce might survive, but it would be squeezed from a silver packet. It might sound disappointing, but astronauts often say the taste of food in space is stronger because microgravity changes the way flavors hit your tongue. So maybe space pumpkin pie isn't so bad after all. Next, let's think about how people would gather. On Earth, families sit around a table, but in space, there is no up or down. A Thanksgiving table would float, and so would everyone sitting around it. Astronauts would need to strap their feet to the floor or Velcro their legs under the table. Otherwise, they'd be drifting around while trying to eat turkey out of a pouch. And what about drinks? A glass of apple cider would be impossible. In zero gravity, liquids form, floating spheres. So cider would have to be sipped through a straw from a special pouch. Even passing food would be tricky. Imagine handing over a slice of cornbread only to watch it float away toward the ceiling. Every bite would have to be carefully managed. But the biggest challenge wouldn't be food, it would be family. On Thanksgiving, people gather with loved ones. In space, you're separated by hundreds of miles of atmosphere and vacuum. Astronauts can call Earth, but the delay and limitations mean family gatherings happen through video screens. A holiday toast becomes a pixelated wave from across the stars. Yet in some ways, this distance makes the meaning of Thanksgiving stronger. Astronauts say that looking down at Earth from orbit makes them appreciate the planet more. Every continent, every ocean, every city glowing at night. It's all home. Imagine carving turkey while staring out the window at a sunrise over the Pacific Ocean, or a lightning storm flashing over Africa. Gratitude in space would take on an entirely new dimension. Now, what if we celebrated Thanksgiving on the moon? Challenges would grow. This food would need to be shipped from Earth weeks or months in advance, carefully preserved. Gravity on the moon is weaker, so food would still float a little, and drinks would still need special containers. But at least a table could stay on the ground without floating away. And if Thanksgiving were celebrated on Mars, the distance means resupply missions would take months. Colonists would need to grow their own crops, in greenhouses, potatoes, grains, maybe even future Martian turkeys. Imagine a feast of greenhouse-grown potatoes, hydroponic vegetables, and lab-cultured turkey meat. Thanksgiving on Mars would be a true symbol of human adaptation. The emotional meaning of Thanksgiving in space would also evolve. On Earth, it's about giving thanks for family, harvest, and community. In space, it would be about survival, cooperation, and the fragile gift of life. Astronauts already rely on teamwork to survive. A holiday like Thanksgiving could remind them that every mission is a shared journey. Just like the Pilgrims once faced together on Earth, instead of just being a cultural holiday, space Thanksgiving might become a universal day of gratitude for the entire crew, no matter their nationality, religion, or background. Perhaps in the future, when humans live on the moon or Mars, Thanksgiving won't just be an American holiday. It could become a symbol of humanity's ability to carry traditions into the stars. So, what would Thanksgiving in space look like? The food would be strange, the seating would be awkward, and family would be far away. Yet the spirit of gratitude would shine brighter than ever. And maybe, just maybe, the first Thanksgiving in space would remind us that no matter how far we travel, the things that matter most, family, food, and thankfulness, will always stay with us. So, whether you're eating turkey at home or imagining a pouch of mashed potatoes in orbit, remember this: Thanksgiving is not about where you are, but about who you share it with, even across the stars.